or welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host, my name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on AEW Dynamite. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into the opening segment with Hangman Adam Page. He came out to talk about his match against Will Ospreay this past weekend at Double or Nothing, and he said, quote, "The wins and losses don't matter, but what you do with them is what counts." He continued to say, quote, "At Double or Nothing, two men entered this ring and they both knew that one of them would have to leave defeated." After that, he ended up thanking Will Ospreay for the fight of his life and reminding him why he loves professional wrestling. Then he talked about needing to look forward and setting his sights on what truly matters most to him, which is the AEW World Championship. Then he promised the fans that he would win the championship and breathe life back into AEW. And then one of the pillars of AEW, Swerve Strickland, came out. And Swerve came out to confront Hangman Adam Page about the Young Bucks preventing him from winning the title and to confront him about being in cahoots with them. Swerve expressed that he said that it's not a coincidence that because of his loss at Dynasty that now Hangman has the very opportunity that he once wanted and had. Then Hangman said, quote, if I had wanted to cost you the match, I would have done it myself to your face. I've done it before." And then Will Ospreay came out, and when Will's music hit, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I mean, Will is the ultimate pot stirrer, and I was so hyped, okay? I was like, let's freaking go. His theme song is electric. Like, it just like, let's go. So Ospreay said to Swerve that he hates getting involved in his business, but he knows that he's wrong about Hangman. He then talked about how you really get to know somebody once you're in the ring with them when the stakes are high, and the stakes were highest at Double or Nothing. He then told Swerve that after their match, he could see Hangman's eyes and how much he cares for this place. He realized his passion in that match, and he's trying to but he's trying to show Swerve that so that maybe they can make some peace, right? Then he suggested that there's only one way to bring the heart of AEW back, and it's by working all together. Swerve, Will, and Hangman, to make the match easier for Hangman so that they can do that and get the title away from Moxley. But Swerve refused and said that he would never work with him or trust him ever again, and then he left. So I'm curious to see what happens next in the storyline and to see how this match ends up playing out. July 12th, I believe, AEW All In Texas. We have Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against Hangman Adam Page. Very intrigued to see how that goes. And speaking of Jon Moxley, he's actually in this next match. The next match the first match of the night was a mixed trios match. We had Jon Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Gabe Kidd versus Willow Nightingale, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Mark Briscoe. Now, this was an incredible match, okay? Putting these 6 competitors in the ring together is truly a recipe for chaos in the best way possible, and I love it. I mean, so many incredible moments, and they truly made this match can't miss. Now, all of these wrestlers are so unique and all bring something different to the match that made it what it was, and I just couldn't get enough of it. Now, in the end, our AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Gabe Kidd did take that victory. And then after that, we had a little video package from the Hurt Syndicate. Now, if you guys follow me on social media, then you would have seen the video I made when MJF got voted into the Hurt Syndicate. I was obsessed, and I still am. I just freaking love this new era of the Hurt Syndicate with MJF. Now, will it last for long? I'm not sure. But while it's here, I'm going to enjoy it the most that I can. Now, MJF is by far one of the greatest talkers I've ever seen, and having him as the mouthpiece for this faction is a huge upgrade. Now, MVP, he's great, but having MJF just freaking is the icing on top of the cake, and I love it. He talked about how for as long as Bobby and Shelton are champions, nobody can stop them. He also mentioned that he's seeking gold of his own and wants everyone in the Hurt Syndicate to have gold around their waist. So I'm very intrigued to see how this all progresses and how will MJF successfully do that. Very intrigued to see how that goes. The next match of the night was a no DQ tag team match. We had Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne versus Harley Cameron and Anna Jay. Now, this was an insane match. I mean, anytime you see a no DQ match in AEW, you got to get ready for a pool of blood, a bloodbath, if you will. And that's exactly what we had last night. Now, all four of them were ruthless with one another and made for unforgettable moments. Now, there was this one spot that had my jaw literally on the freaking ground. Megan Bayne slammed Harley Cameron into the steel stairs and busted her wide open on, I believe it was her nose. And it was just insane. I mean, huge props to Megan and Penelope. They did so freaking good with this match, as did Harley and Anna, but I felt like they really stole the show stole the match for me. And you know what? In the end, they ended up taking that W. So I can't complain. After that, we had a trios tag team match. We had the Ops versus Frat House. Now, this match was surprisingly good. Now, obviously, we have kings in there like Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, but to see them obliterate the Frat House was quite literally amazing. I'm not huge about the Frat House. I'm not crazy about them, but the Ops, we love the Ops. And in the end, they took that W, so I really can't complain. Then after that, we had a segment with Jamie Hayter. Now, Jamie was in the ring with Renee Paquette, and she asked her what her future looks like after unsuccessfully defeating Mercedes Moné in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament finals. Before Jamie could literally even speak, the lights went out and mysterious music started playing. And who else was it? Thekla. Thekla debuted. There's been rumors about this for some time. And for those who don't know Thekla, she's a huge star overseas. Recently, she's been competing over in Stardom. She ended up getting fired because she attacked the officials and the president of Stardom, which is just giving baddie energy, and I love that for her. So now it seems that she's here in AEW to stir the pot and possibly have a new feud with Jamie Hayter, which I really love for both of them. Now, she calls herself the Toxic Spider. That's her gimmick. That's her name, her catchphrase, and she does this really crazy backbend that I saw for the very first time because I've heard of Thekla, but I wasn't too familiar with her. And then this was really like my first impression of her last night. So when she did this backbend, my jaw was once again on the ground. And if you guys remember Bray Wyatt's backbend, it's exactly that, except a little more aggressive, which I don't even know how one's back could take that. But you know what? It looked epic, and I'm so here for it. So I'm very intrigued to see if we will get a feud between Jamie and Thekla. Could there possibly be a match at All In? I don't know, but I'm very intrigued to see. We know weeks leading up to last night on Dynamite and Collision, we've seen spiders on the walls, or not on the walls, but like on the screen, hinting at Thekla, obviously the Toxic Spider. So once again, I'm very intrigued to see kind of how this all goes down. And if we'll get a match out of it, which I'm sure at some point we will. Then we had the TNT Championship on the line. Adam Cole defending against Kyle Fletcher. This match was electric. One of my favorites of the night. I mean, I love both of these wrestlers so much. So to see them collide with the TNT Championship on the line, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat truly. Kyle Fletcher is one of those wrestlers that I just feel like can do it all. He kind of reminds me of a Ricochet, of an AJ Styles. He just literally, even a Logan Paul, it's that high fly, quick speed. I don't know. It's just like so amazing. And I just can't take my eyes off of him. And then with Adam Cole, I mean, Adam Cole is the ultimate package in every way, shape, or form. So to have them two go at it was just amazing. I think they work so well together, and they were just doing these crazy moves that made it so that there was like no room left for boredom. I was not bored 1 second of that match. It was so freaking good. But we didn't get a clean ending. We had some shenanigans. So Josh Alexander interfered to help Kyle Fletcher, and they both attacked Adam Cole. Then Brody King came out for the save, and that moment led us into our next match, which was Josh Alexander versus Brody King. Now, this was a very interesting matchup, but surprisingly, I thought it was really good. I loved how well they worked together and how they were able to put on a very entertaining match. And in the end, Brody King won. No real surprise there. I don't think any of us really thought Josh Alexander would beat him, but I love Brody King. I've always have, always will. And like ever since House of Black days, he's an OG. I love him. All right, let's head into our main event segment with our TBS champion and our Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner for the women. Sorry, that's like a mouthful. Mercedes Moné. She came out to say that she not only is the greatest TBS champion of all time, but the greatest Owen Hart Foundation tournament winner of all time. She said, not even the greats compared to her. And I'm sorry, no lies detected. You guys know Mercedes is my queen. Mercedes is the reason why I'm a wrestling fan. Like, she's the reason why I fell in love about 12 years ago. So this girl's my OG. So I mean, no lies detected. I will defend that girl to the day I die. But then we had the AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, interrupt. Now, Mercedes dropped a slay line and said, quote, "Toni, darling, we finally meet. These fans are tired of the black and white and want a champion full of color." Toni responded and answered with a very valid question and said, quote, "You've been watching me since before you got here, and this was the one match you really wanted. So what took you so long?" Mercedes then said to Toni that she needs to have some patience, that this isn't about her, but it's about Mercedes and her legacy. Mercedes reminded Toni that she's the standard, the conversation, the blueprint, and the revolution. Toni responded and said, quote, "Well, I'm the Toni Storm of professional wrestling, and you've never met anybody quite like me." And I just have to take a quick pause. There's so much still to unpack in this segment, and I just have to say, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. They are so good with their dialogue, and it doesn't get any much better than this. Mercedes then responded and said, quote, "You're right, Toni. This girl, this shy Toni Storm that I met 10 years ago, you are very different, but I'm different too. You see, I'm not a boss anymore. I'm a CEO, CEO." When she said that, I wasn't sure if I felt like a dagger went in my soul or if I should be like, yes, Queen Slay. I think I felt both, but it's okay. Toni replied and said, quote, "You know, we have so many similarities. We both started so young. We both struggled in the indies. We were both given trophies. We were given flowers. And when that wasn't enough, we left it all behind to follow our hearts. In AEW, we became exactly who we were meant to be." She then continued to say, quote, "The biggest difference between the two of us is you want all the titles and I only need one. I have lived for this, I have cried for this, I have bled for this, and I have died for this." Once they finished talking, Mercedes went in for a handshake, which turned into absolute chaos. It did not end as nicely as I think she was hoping. But I just have to say, I am very excited for this match. I mean, we have two of the greatest to ever do it going face to face for the first time July 12th at AEW All In. I truly could not be more excited. But let's head into my overall thoughts. Overall, it was a fantastic show. I mean, you can never go wrong with Dynamite. My match of the night was the no DQ tag team match between Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne versus Harley Cameron and Anna Jay, excuse me. I thought they tore the roof apart, truly, and put on a banger of a match. Now, my segment of the night, hands down, was Mercedes Moné and Timeless Toni Storm. I mean, this segment got me so hyped for their match at All In, and they just said all the right things in all the right ways to literally get me hyped and stirred up for this match. I truly cannot wait. Overall, I'd rate the show about an 8.5 out of 10. And next week is Fighter Fest, a special edition of AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest, and it will be a 4-hour special. And I am so excited for it. I truly cannot wait. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.